Hey, this is Kelly Thompson, writer of IDW's Gem and the Holograms, and you are about to have a truly outrageous time here on Showtime Synergy.
Me and my friends are Gem Girls. Gem, Gem is my name. Exciting adventure, fashion, and fame. Once you're a Gem Girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Gem Girl. Gem, Gem is my name. Me and my friends are Gem Girls. Gem, Gem is my name. Truly outrageous, that's a Gem Girl. Glamour, fashion, and fame. Exciting adventure, fashion, and fame. Once you're a Gem Girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Gem Girl. Gem, Gem is my name. BeatlesDiva,
Hello and welcome to Showtime Synergy, the Gem Review podcast here on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am Em, and joining me are my misfit girls, Amy, aka LadyWreck, hello.
Hey.
And Nicole Hailstorm, hello.
Hi. Hi.
You should be happy now that I'm calling you a misfit, damn it.
This is what she said hi. She's like really high.
I said hi. I said hi.
She's high because she's really high. Great. Oh, Lord.
You know what? I haven't had a soda in 4 days.
She's having,
So I'm low.
Yeah, she's low.
I'm having withdrawals, man.
Yeah, I was going to say that withdrawals. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
So wait, are you telling me she is shaking like a Beverly Hills Chihuahua?
No, that's what I'm on.
All right. So when I normally get the little plot things and everything else to put in the script, I get them off of Wikipedia, and they're fairly decent plot descriptions. The only thing it doesn't copy, for some odd reason, is it doesn't copy the. I guess it would if I probably selected it, so I guess it's my own damn fault. Because I already write out the episode title in my Word document, so I have to write that out, and I have to write the actual air date out. So the writer listing isn't actually on my document. It's still on the Wikipedia page, obviously. So I had to go back and check the dates for the 3 episodes we're going to talk about. And as I'm checking, I'm like, those first 2 writers look familiar. Interesting. Because for Music is Magic, it was written by Paul Dini, a.k.a. the man that gave Mr. Freeze a decent storyline.
I just think it's crazy that we're doing a magic show story, and it's the Paul Dini. That sounds like a magician's name.
And the first
Paul
thing
Dini.
Yeah, I had to bring this up because I thought that was hilarious, because then at the time that you actually see the credits, you see, oh, Paul Dini wrote this, then Kimber comes on and says Kimber Breeny. So it's like, really? That was kind of cute, actually.
Well, Paul Dini has a huge fictionalized love affair with Zatanna, but he actually in real life married his own version of Zatanna. His wife, Misty Lee, is a magician.
Nice.
So, Paul, he has done some amazing work over the years. He's written some great He-Man episodes. He's obviously, Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, Superman Animated Series, Batman Beyond, all that stuff.
No wonder I liked that episode so much.
I know, right? But see, I didn't even notice it. Like, when I first watched the episode, I didn't really pay too much attention to the actual credit until after the fact, and I was like, that's interesting. So, and the other one that is interesting to me is the writer on The Jazz Player. It's Michael Reeves, who wrote the big broadcast of 2006 from Transformers.
Nice.
He has also done many episodes of Dungeons and Dragons. Nicole will love this. He wrote 14 episodes of My Little Pony and Friends in 1997. He wrote The Real Ghostbusters on 11 episodes for that show. Turtles from 87, 19 episodes for that show. BTAS, he wrote 9 episodes. I knew I recognized the name, but I couldn't really place what else he had done.
Until you did your research.
Yeah, that's true. So, But yeah, that's what I wanted to point out here in the beginning of the podcast because I thought it was like really interesting, and I'm like, wait, why do I like these two episodes so much? And I look back at the especially with Dini. I mean, Dini has done some amazing writing over the years. Really, really has.
Awesome sauce.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
I have to say I liked those two episodes too. I think the first two that we're going to review today are pretty solid, pretty fun.
Yes, they are. So we are going to get to Music is Magic after this.
Abracadabra, open your eyes, abracadabra, you're gonna get a big surprise. Abracadabra, what do you see? Abracadabra, you're gonna have to deal with me. Hocus pocus, just don't change up, see the tangle, well I weave the abacazoo. Guess what's new? I got more tricks up my sleeve. Abracadabra, everything's changed. Abracadabra, your life is being rearranged. Abracadabra, how do you feel? Abracadabra, I bet the whole thing seems unreal. Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra.
All right, first up is Music is Magic. The air date was October 14th, 1987. And as we've already stated, Paul Dini is the writer of this episode. Gem and the Holograms are set to appear on a Music is Magic TV special. However, matters are made worse when they discover that their rivals, the Misfits, are also guests on the show. But the real trouble starts when they all keep disappearing one by one. But it turns out that Frick's assistant Frack...
Frickin' frack, there you go.
You brought that up on purpose, Nicole.
What?
I don't know. Some of
When
these,
you said frickin' frack earlier, and I'm like, wait a second.
Oh, I just say that all the time.
it's like Flotsam and Jetsam, except it sounds better. Frickin' frack. I don't know what they're fracking doing in this show, but hey.
Wow, that's one way to work around an F-bomb.
Oh, yeah. Frickin' and frackin'. There you go. Take your pick. Which do you like better, frick or frack?
So the assistant Frack is the true villain behind the disappearances because he wants to be the only best magician in the world. After being jealous for so long, in the end, Frack's plot is foiled, but Frack escapes, leaving Gem a note revealing that he will return and the Misfits are tied up.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to do this for the whole episode now.
I'm pretty sure you will.
Fracking won't.
Yeah. Hey, it's a drinking game. Every single time you said frick or frack, you take a drink. See how wasted
And then
we
we
get,
could
everybody.
invite and then we could invite the My Little Pony villains, Flim and Flam in, and we could just have a good old effing party.
Wait. There are My Little Pony villains entitled Flim and Flam.
Yep,
There is.
the Flim Flam brothers. They tried.
Okay.
They tried to destroy Applejack's little business.
Wait, the Flim Flam brothers.
Yep.
I guess what? One of them is Scott McNeil.
Okay, well, so you take
That makes it even more brilliant, to be honest.
so you take Frick and Frack, Flim and Flam, the brothers from My Little Pony, and then you add in Scrappy and Flim Flam, voiced by Sue Blue from the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, and there you go. Featured songs in this one: Abracadabra by the Misfits, It Could Be You by Gem and the Holograms, Music is Magic by Gem and the Holograms. Nicole, thoughts on the plot?
Why are you doing this to me?
I told you I'm going to make you go first.
Overall, there's just some loose ends in the plot. Like, oh, crap, I can't remember her name now. The female magician.
Oh,
She
God.
goes all after Gem about, no, stay away from
Marla.
my man. Yeah, and all that. I'm just like, they're not even dating. And then by the end of the show, they're making out like teenagers on a couch. I'm like, what? Where's the backstory to it? What happened? I don't get it. I
Just
think
kinda
that
threw
was
it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt it didn't need to happen, or there needed to be more put into it.
Well, especially with their making out at the end, I guess they could have scrapped that part.
Yeah. But I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But you know, I remember this time in my life, magic was really big with David Copperfield. He was huge at this time, and I even remember my sister getting a magic kit and playing with it. So this was one of those fun episodes that I do remember. It just seemed really quick. Again, the whole timing thing with Jim and the Holograms is just like, but again, it's a typical setup. They're having an event, and the misfits come to be the other half. You know, they really need to get a third party in here. They will eventually. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty fun show. There's just some little quips here and there. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, they're little things, but it was pretty fun still.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like good villains that actually are kind of threatening. Frack was pretty threatening there.
He was, and the thing is that at the very end when he's like, I will be back. Did he ever really come back, Frack?
I think
he got away. He did get away, didn't he?
He did. He got away, but that's like, and then he said we'll see. I'll be back. You know, the typical, I'll be back. I will see you again. And then I don't think we ever did get to see him again after this. Yeah. So that's a promise I want to see fulfilled, man. That frickin' makes me mad.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think. Yeah, he got away. But I mean, you kind of felt scared for him a couple times. Like,
he was crazy.
He was, and I love it. I like that kind of like a slight Jokerish feel to him, you know? He can't be that crazy. No one's
And
that
of course, what's even better is that he was voiced by Dan.
Yeah, Dan Gilligan had a couple voices in this one.
He did. Yep.
What about you, Amy?
Me, I liked it. It's going back to the whole theme thing. What I did like about this though is that they did have a situation where, it's either the misfits or the bad guys in the show or whatever. And this one, it wasn't. It was somebody else. And so I kind of liked the fact, at least for this episode, that the bad guys are not your typical bad guy. I did not expect it to be Frack. Mm-hmm. When I first saw this back in the day, I mean, when I'm, reviewing it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this one. It's one of the dudes and the musicians that did it. But, it was just good to have somebody that's a character that we don't know anything about that happens to be the bad guy, and they all have to join up and, help each other out to an extent. So I liked that. That's what I really liked about this episode, was the fact that it's not your typical bad guy in a Gem episode.
Yep, that's true.
Nope. For me, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And just the fact that Bumblebee is evil. It just...
Evil Bumblebee!
There's evil Bumblebee. You've heard of Shattered Glass.
Well, yeah, but we're all used to Dan doing his, happy-go-lucky, good guy Bumblebee voice, and we're all used to
good bad guy. He really does. Yeah. He's crazy. This is why I want Frack back.
Bring the Frack back.
Oh man, it just goes. I was saying this a few years ago when they had released the Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions trailer. Everybody knew Dan's voice as the Spidey from the 81 series, Spidey and His Amazing Friends. The Shattered Dimensions trailer shows up, and he's 2099 Spidey, and his voice is all dark and deep and low. And I mean, you can still tell it's Dan Gilvezan, but it isn't that happy-go-lucky. And this is kind of the same thing here, where Frack is a really dark character, and I love it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I really don't have any misfit moments for this one, but the one thing I did write down, and I know I'm talking about it in the plot here, but honestly, they weren't even needed. I mean, not that I don't want to see them in every single episode, but when you think about it, they weren't needed at all to. I mean, what did they do to help Jem and them get out of the cages? Nothing.
Not really. I think they needed them just at the very end to be the ones entertaining Frack because, hey, given a choice between having playing music or tormenting somebody, they will go torment somebody. I liked that about the end. And then of course they find him and Frack has gotten away. and somehow they're tormenting. He got the jump on them and got them all tied up and left a message for everybody else afterwards. You mess with Frack, you freaking get it.
You mess with Frack, you're gonna get fracked. Some people might like that though. So
yeah.
Wow. just wow.
What?
Alrighty then. Oh. Alright, so we are going to get the hologram moments after this.
We're going to get people so drunk in the first 5 minutes.
Someone here is the culprit. When I find out you're through, someone here is the culprit. Who? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. You could be the guilty. One of you pulled the fast one. Went and made a switch. One of you pulled the fast one. Which? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. You could be the guilty one. It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. You could be the guilty one. It could be you. Couldn't it? It could be you. Couldn't it? Could it be you?
All right, hologram moments for Music is Magic. I've pretty much talked about my first one already.
Yep, I have too.
Dan has two voices in this, Silverstone and Frack. I thought it was an interesting way to have them do a song, because after Jem disappears, she's still singing, but she's not even there.
Yeah.
She's not even in the video.
They recorded it afterwards and subbed it in. So there you go.
Oh, God. Thankfully, this series ended before the Milli Vanilli fiasco.
That was ages before that. Oh my gosh.
No, yeah, Jem was ages before,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying, yeah.
I was gonna say, Jem was
Thankfully, this was way before. That's what I'm saying. Thankfully, no one can really compare it to that. It was Frack all the time. I gotta say, I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. They didn't put any hints out or anything.
It was brilliant. Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Amazing. For some weird reason, I was wanting Vincent Price to show up in this episode. And the only reason why I say that is because the main thing, and I kind of already mentioned it earlier, the main thing I know him from is when he would pop in every now and then with Scooby and the gang, and the main thing I remember him from is 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. So, what do you got, Nicole? Can you read your handwriting?
I can read my handwriting. Okay, first of all, I like that the main magician, his name was Silverstone. I want to say that was a nod to Blackstone, the magician who actually had all of the, learned magic tricks and stuff. So I'd like to think that's kind of a little nod to him. So, do you remember Blackstone by any chance? Anyone? Am I that old? Oh. Okay.
No, our memories are that bad.
It was all that drinking earlier with the fricking and the fracking.
You got opportunity.
God.
Oh, Scott McNeil singing, love it. Okay. I like how Frick took Kimber's line of "That's outrageous."
That was a good line. Yeah.
He took the line from it. Let's see. Oh, and Stormer's got some climbing skills. She could go up against a tiger. She got away from the tiger pretty good, pretty fast.
Well, you know, she fights pizzazz on a daily basis, so there's not much of a difference.
And we all know that pizzazz has claws. So.
She's always showing them in her music videos, right?
That's true.
She's like, we're gonna get you. I gotta show my claws. Cat fight.
And then, of course, Dan goes in. That's what I got.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Amy?
Okay, I already said about the Kimber Brini because I thought that was cute. It's a magical name. Paul Dini, Brini. Yeah, awesome. I'd have to say that was a really good entrance the Misfits had at the very beginning when they showed up.
Oh, swinging on the stars?
Yeah, well, but it was just like the explosion and all that, and I was like, okay, all right, they deserve credit for that because I like good entrances. So, whoever did get rid of old pink hair, and then I thought, Rhea has pink hair too, and then of course she turns into a tiger, so she's the underappreciated pink-haired person. But yeah, then she, she's also the next hologram to disappear after Gem. And then, like I said, she turns into a tiger. And I thought it was kind of weird, though, that, I've never known a wand to scare a tiger, like that, or shoot beams of light at them to make them behave. Was it beams of light, or was it laser beams?
I think it was shock.
Shock? Okay, because it was...
I think it was like a cattle prod.
Well, it wasn't touching the tiger, though. And
Yeah,
like
that's
tasers that actually have those little things that come out, they actually have to have some sort of connection. It doesn't just magically flow through the air like that, like a lightning bolt, unless you are a lightning bolt. So
he's a magician. Hello.
I know, but I'm just talking about
second.
the realism of this, and of course it's an animated show, so why am I nitpicking? Because I can. Isn't that fracking and freaking crazy?
Yep.
Oh goodness. Okay, I like that Frack missed Kimber's skeleton key because she's an amateur magician and she would have a skeleton key. So we thought of everything except that. Frack's trick of making the elephant disappear. Yeah.
I still want to know where the hell it went. Like, it needed to show up somewhere.
Yeah, it needs to show up somewhere, like standing someplace really precarious or something.
Tiger.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's with the tiger.
They're at the zoo.
I like again that this episode had no Rio.
Woo!
And again, like I said, I liked that the mastermind wasn't the Misfits or Eric's or Eric or Thugs. Mm-hmm. They all had to get together and help each other. But you're right. Did the Misfits really need to be there? And I think I liked just the ending. I think just in lieu of the ending, I think that they were needed because somebody had to play that, silly role. Why not have the Misfits do it?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's me.
All right, we are going to get to the Misfit moments after this.
Music is magic. Nothing can compare. Everybody starts to rock when music's in the air. Music is magic. Music makes you whole. Music is magic. It wraps itself around you, filling up your soul. Music is magic. Cuts through sadness like a knife, wondrous and mystical. Music is magic.
right, it's time for the misfit moments. I pretty much already said mine earlier. Just once, I wish the misfits weren't in an episode. Because outside of the ending, they're not really needed.
That's true. Okay.
Like, what they could have done a little bit better in this one, I think, is that, you know how in, like, season 1, Pizzazz they would always show up, like, in the middle of something, like in the middle of one of Lindsay's shows and ruin everything or something. They could have done something like that. They could have shown up at the middle of this thing, said, hey, why aren't we on this thing? And then Frack could have trapped them and blah, 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 blah. And
I don't know. Seeing Pizzazz being the woman to be cut in half and having her react that way, I thought it was really hilarious and entertaining.
Yeah, I did. But at the same time, it's like, they really have nothing to do other than to be cut in half or, cut down to size or whatever else. Any other misfit moments, ladies?
I have a couple.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it was Netflix or not, but there was some really sketchy animation. Like, it would, like, jump around and, yeah. Like, their eyes would, like, droop every once in a while. I'm like, okay.
We've been drinking. We've been saying too much frack and frick.
Yeah, they've been drinking too much of that fracking water. Yeah, and then at one point, Shayna, I always say Shauna because it's my friend. Shayna and Aja switched voices. You guys notice that?
Yes. But I'll say though, it's not often that happens. At least in this series, where it happens in He-Man all the time. I mean, the voice actors for the Mask series, they're all interchangeable. I mean, you've got the same guy doing 7 different characters, and so I'll say this for Jim: when it does happen, it's kind of like, hey, wait a second. It's like more one of those moments for me because it doesn't happen often.
Yep. And
That's
then
true.
I just want to know how he switched everyone's skeleton keys. If magic doesn't work, pickpocketing is a good career for him to go down.
Yeah.
Apparently he's good at sleight of hand. So
And he did it like before the show started, so it's like, hey,
yeah.
somehow he had to get that done before the show started because he knew he was going to try and get all of these guys before the show started. So I was like, hey, when they're not looking, he's pickpocketing.
What about you, Amy?
It sounds like the Misfits when they're singing Abracadabra. It sounds like they're saying Abracadabra. It was weird. I mean, they did it a couple times. I went, is that Abracadabra or buh? Dabba dabba doo. Just saying. And I thought it was hilarious that Kimber knows how that Pizzazz disappeared, even though she was like in the coffin when it happened. Mm-hmm. Like she saw it through the coffin. How did that happen?
The keyhole, yeah, I'm not sure.
So that was those are my only 2 moments that I picked out of this episode. I went, those are a few things I went, that didn't work for me. But it was, other than that, I pretty enjoyed. I enjoyed this episode. So
I did too.
Same here. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one.
Take a hike, Jack. Hit the road. Get out while you can before I make this place explode. Jack, take a walk, Jack. Disappear. Can't you take the hint? You're not wanted here. Pack your bags, move on out. Get, go. Jack, take a hike, Jack. On your way. Hear me loud and clear. Take a hike today. Take a hike. Jack, take a hike, Jack. Hit the road. Get out while you can before I make this place explode.
Up next is the Jazz Player. It
Jazz
aired
hands.
October.
jazz hands. Sorry.
It aired October 15th, 1987, written by Michael Reeves. Jem tries to reunite the Taps Tucket Quartet, an old jazz group. Meanwhile, Eric Raymond is trying to put out a compilation album of jazz songs. Eric and the Misfits do everything in their power to stop the Taps Tucket Quartet from getting back together so Eric's jazz album can be released. Okay, first of all, what in the Sam hell is Eric doing with a jazz album? I don't think he performed this crap himself.
Yeah.
Like, did he just go back in the annals of music history, just ripping and raving for basically stealing other people's jazz? Like, how is Eric Raymond going to put it?
He got the Limp Lizards to do a jazz album. There we go.
They're so bad. I can't even imagine what jazz would sound like out of the Limp Lizards. Oh my god.
Actually, maybe that's their genre. Maybe they need to switch back to.
Yeah, they
God.
don't know.
We wouldn't know because we never hear that. We never hear the jazz.
Yeah. Like that's the one thing about the plot of this episode that I know it sounds like a nitpick, but really bothers me that they don't explain how Eric has this jazz album. Where did he get it? What, how did?
Where's the band that did it?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, they own Misfits music. They've got to perform. They're probably
still in
signing
other people's music. Yeah.
Well, they're probably signing other people besides the Misfits.
I doubt it. Pizzazz wouldn't let that happen. She's too egotistical.
If she could make money off of them, she'll make it happen.
Yeah, but she'll want to be the top dog
See,
at that.
Well, it's
Misfit music. It's like no. You have to. All of the attention on me. I'm your top money gig here. Everybody else is below, so we have to make more money. We have to get more promotion. All of that stuff. That would be her thing. Mm-hmm. So my guess is it's the fact that the other band wasn't there was all her doing. She's like, no, we'll be there. You just make them stay in the background, and you can represent them without them being there. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said it just like that. In fact, she went.
Yeah. I kind of like the way this one was structured as far as the plot goes, where they all have to go off and try to convince these members of the band.
It had a very much like it had the vein of previous season one's Old Meets New.
Right, yeah.
So, but I think it actually pulled off maybe a little better because I liked how this one ended up being.
Well, yeah, I mean, but in Old Meets New, you only had to convince Bobby. You didn't have to really they weren't trying to get a whole group back together. They were trying to get him to perform. I mean, they were, but it was a completely different animal. But this one was really awesome because it shows you each of them going off and having to rely on their. This really is a character building episode for all of the hologram.
Oh, yeah.
It really is, because Jim and Synergy aren't there to save them, from each thing. So
plus
they
it
have
gives Jerica a day to herself. She's just like, just go. I need a day off. I work 2 jobs. You guys don't appreciate me. That's the truth
Lord.
Behind it.
Well, she's also needing some Rio time because again, this episode is no Rio.
Time.
No Rio in this episode either, so that's a good improvement.
Wait, no, he was in this one, wasn't he?
Mm-mm. He was in the next one.
Huh, I could have sworn he was in this one somewhere. But anyway.
I think that he
all right,
was.
Nicole, what do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah.
For what?
Can you read it?
For Misfit Moments?
No, for the plot.
Oh, for the plot.
Jeez.
Oh,
It's like you just stole Adam Sandler's remote from Click and you fast forward all the way to the end of the episode.
It's lost in her blanket. The same as her
amongst
nose.
everything else.
My blanket was becoming a python and just ate everything. It's
Wait.
true.
Pythons don't eat everything.
If they're hungry enough, they will.
Maybe the blob.
Well, I'm with the blob here, and I'm not going to eat even papers. No, overall, I had a good time with this episode. Just because it brought in some new music. First of all, I enjoyed that, and it was just it was kind of like that you said, like old meets new.
Mm-hmm.
It shows how times are turning, times are changing, how the music was changing, and it's just good to go back to the roots again. So, and it was kind of like a little adventure. Each person was going to come into their own little misfortune, and they had to figure their own way out, and I really liked that. And I love the old guys; they're fun.
Oh yeah. They all had a little flavor without having to put too much
Yeah.
building in with each one of them. Their personalities kind of shone through, and that I really liked that because of that.
Absolutely. What about you, Amy? What else did you like about the plot for this one?
It just was a really solid episode. I mean, we also get the jazz kind of feel even in the music, and it just
Well, with one track anyway.
well, they actually both the Misfits and Gem and the Holograms have a jazzy number each.
Yeah. And then there's Jack Take a Hike, which is a reuse.
Yeah.
Trapped, I don't know. I like Trapped, but
I
don't
love
know.
It was it's
I
not
loved
their
it.
usual flair, but once you hear the Gem and the Holograms version, their own jazz version, then you kind of you have something to compare it to, and you see that there's a little bit more of a kind of a rocky kind of edge to the Misfit song. I think if they had flipped, well, I don't know how they would have been able to do it, but if they had flipped it so that you had the Gem and the Holograms jazz song first, and see how jazzy they were trying to go with it, and then have the Misfit one, then you can see the little edge that they're, to kind of put their flavor on it. But I mean, I did put that in one of my moments that I actually did like. I liked the jazz half, but the Misfits it just doesn't have their regular sound to it, so it kind of feels like it might not fit. But then after you hear how Gem and the Holograms handled the whole jazz thing, then you look back and like, well, they did kind of have a little bit more of an edge to it, and a saxophone is always going to be jazzy, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, it's not always going to fit. Like, just like sometimes, when you're watching, American Idol, and some of the voices don't fit the genre very well, and they get voted off. That's just kind of how it goes.
For a minute there, I thought she was going to make an American Bandstand reference, folks.
Oops.
All right, let's get to the hologram moments.
Going nowhere, baby, face the facts. Got you where I want you, you might as well relax, 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 you're trapped. And you can't break out your trap. Though you scream and shout, you're trapped, 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 trapped. Baby, you're trapped. Baby, you're trapped. No one's gonna save you, you're in sorry shape. Fight it all you want to, there's no way to escape, escape, escape. You're trapped, and you can't get free. You're trapped, baby. Don't you see? You're trapped, 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 trapped. Baby, you're trapped. You're trapped, and you can't break out. You're trapped. Though you scream and shout, you're trapped, 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 trapped. Baby, you're trapped. Baby, you're trapped. Baby, you're trapped.
This is time for hologram moments for the jazz player. That's what this episode's called. I can't remember all of a sudden. So the last few episodes, Gem and the Holograms have been chauffeured around wherever they go. I guess we can't complain about Aja's driving anymore.
Nope. Poor Aja. She does not have luck with cars at all.
No, she does not. No,
If she's not driving them crazy, they're breaking down, or somebody's removing stuff, and she's like, "Oh crap, the car is toast." Yeah, there you go. Well, it's not toast. I mean, you can't eat it, Aja. Don't try. But indigestion and all that.
Synergy is a hacker. She hacks into the IRS or the DMV or something or other to find these guys.
Google, I'm telling you, it was
Yeah,
pre-Google
we're-
days.
Where's Tech Rat when you need him?
Oh, don't worry, he's in this episode too.
Yeah, that's right. He was. I
He
almost
plays
said
the
he wasn't.
synergy, other, without being, he's not as cool, but he's still cool because he's got gadgets and stuff.
Yeah. Trapped is it. It's another rare Misfit song that I like. I only like a few of the Misfit songs, and honestly, I only like a few of the Gem and the Hologram songs. It just depends on what kind of music type they're using or what kind of genre they're using. I know it's mostly pop, but Trapped I did like. I enjoy the song from the next episode. We'll talk about a little bit more than it, though. Let's see. Wait, it's gone again. I'll get those two. It's like, put a wig on him, give him a broom, and I'll get you, my pretty.
And your little dog, too.
And honestly, Jazz Has is probably one of Jem's best songs to date.
It was really good. I kept, every single time I read Jazz Has, I want to say, Jazz Hands, Jazz Hands.
Yeah. What did you have for hologram moments, Nicole?
I had the internet would have been helpful in this, but it was still adventurous.
I don't know how the internet would have found out where they're going.
Well, no, the internet, they could have hacked onto got onto Facebook and like, oh, there's so and so.
That's if they have Facebook,
I know. I'm just saying, I enjoyed, this is kind of one of those times. I'm kind of glad they didn't have that back then.
Yeah.
I personally, I have Trapped here with a heart by it because I really like that song. And the exterminator outfits that the Misfits wore were awesome. And they're perfect for slutty Halloween. the slutty
is it the Misfits or the Holograms?
No, it was the Holograms.
It
was Jerica and it was Jem and
Rhea.
Shayna.
Yeah.
Jem and Rhea.
Those were awesome outfits. They've been, like I said, been perfect for slutty Halloween.
I like the fact that when Eric gives Rhea a hard time, she starts getting an attitude. I was like,
the only thing is that we know with the plot of the series that the earrings are portable hologram projectors for synergy. And when Jem is in any disguise,
she's got the earrings on.
She's got the earrings on.
It's a dead giveaway. Yep.
Eric has seen both Jem and Jericho wear the earrings throughout the first season and first half of the second season here. As long as the earrings are on her person, do they, like, when she's in disguise specifically, trying to get away with something, she could have stuck those things in her pocket. She could have, stuck them anywhere on her.
Remember, they were mass produced too, so
other
people
the
could
China
have them.
Yeah, thanks to Eric and the Misfits, they got mass produced. But that's another thing I put in my Misfit moments is the fact that Eric didn't see through that disguise. Mm-hmm. Not only the earrings a dead giveaway, but two girls trying to sound like dudes. Really?
Yeah, that look like that. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys look too good looking
Mm-hmm.
to be exterminators. Just saying. Where's synergy, giving them the big guy look, where they bend over and have the butt crack and everything.
Okay, since Amy brought that up, I don't feel bad about saying this. She could have hidden the earrings by using them as pasties.
Wow. Okay. You heard it here, folks. If the internet explodes with Starlight earring pasties, you'll know why.
What do you got for?
There's a
money-making
everything.
Opportunity. I mean, hey.
You need to get that out. You need to get that out before the movie comes about.
God.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine the porn that's going to come out of that?
I'm pretty sure it's out there already.
Wow! Oh gosh! Wow! We have broken this podcast.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Hey, I'm not the perverted one.
I know, it's great. It's Mike this time.
Oh, please. You guys have twisted me beyond belief. Who's next in hologram moments?
I think we're done, right? Oh no, Amy.
Okay, so oh, jeez, I'm not gonna get over this one. Wow. Okay, so I was fine with the Jack Take a Hike because it wasn't like a jazz song. How they harassed Taps and that was just like, I feel bad for him, but I'm like, it was good to. I like how every single time when they reuse music, that they do a completely new video to make it unique, because you're like, okay, I've heard this song. It's it's catchy tune, yeah. But the fact that they do everything completely new with the video and make it completely different every single time, every single time they've done that, even if I'm not fond of the music, the fact that they keep on doing a different video makes it interesting and kind of switches it up a little bit. So I like that. Jem is stealing Rhea's hair look. How
No, it's the other way around.
what Rhea's always had her hair off to the side like that. Jem is doing it the same way.
I thought you meant the color.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, this episode, this episode and last episode, like the hair, for some reason, the pink hair, it's just like they're kind of off each other's vibes or something. I don't know.
See, this is why we need Rio in between the two of them. Break up the pink.
Because we need more
I
drama.
can just
right?
hear Nicole groaning on the inside after I said that. She doesn't even have to make any noise. I
No,
can just
it's
hear
just
it
like,
coming through the internet.
Yeah. It's a threesome. There you go. We have
No.
this episode. Oh my gosh.
No.
Pasties, porn, and threesomes. Wow. Okay.
They got Rio onto it. No.
I like
Rio
the fact.
should be wearing the pasties.
Oh, God.
No, Eric. It'll give him a little bit more.
Eric would have fun with
Exactly. That's why I'd say put it on him. Oh goodness. Wow. Okay, so
Why am I flashing to Kevin Smith chasing Amy in a bunch of Chinese finger cuffs?
oh. We're never gonna get through this episode.
No, we're not.
Eric continues to use the Misfits as thugs. This will only end in tears, but hey, he knows how to motivate them with attention. Hey, I'll promote more stuff. And they're like, okay, we'll do it. I also have to point out the 80s and their antenna phones.
Oh god, yes.
We had one of those, looked exactly
too.
like that. Oh my gosh. I loved, pulling it out, putting it back. Yeah, the antenna was great. Good old Tech Rat. You're a hacker when you need to know where Jem and the holograms are going. Except his fatal flaw of the fuse box. And I also mentioned Aja's luck with cars. We talked about the jazz feel of the songs. So I already skipped past that. Jem finally gets smart and finds out who the other bidder was to find out if it was Eric or not. Yeah. She knew what was going on there.
I just can't believe that. I just can't believe that guy would even entertain that. And then anyway.
Yeah. The last thing that I have on here, I like that Shayna has to blink her eyes and kind of give looks to convince Ace to, join them. I was like, wow, Shayna. When all else fails, she just, starts using her sex appeal.
If you got it, flaunt it, man.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's not like she can flip her hair at him, because that hair looks like it stands on end.
Oh, no, I don't think it moves. I think it's just it's a tree on her head.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Anything else for hologram moments?
That's me. That's it.
Nicole, you already went, didn't you?
Yes.
I don't remember.
This is the first time you made me go first. And look, we're all confused.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you're becoming a pervert. So this is what happens with change.
Becoming no. I've spent somewhere close to 25 years being a pervert. So we're gonna move on to where the hell are we going? Misfit moments. Yeah, misfit moments after this.
Jazz has the sound of St. Louis blues. Yes, jazz has razzmatazz. Just get you tapping your shoes. That's what jazz has. Jazz has the wail of the saxophone. Yes, jazz has takes and pizzazz. Sounds of the night, funky and light. That's what jazz has. Jazz makes music come alive. Every jazz is gonna survive. Jazz has the power to comfort you. Yes, it has all of that jazz. Jazz gets you tapping your shoes. That's right, jazz has.
All right, it is time for misfit moments. I don't have anything.
I
pretty much. Okay.
I think that after after 2 seasons, that Eric, why in the world would he ever pair Pizzazz and Tech Rat together? Ever? It just makes me laugh because how many times Pizzazz touches something technical, it explodes. And that just makes Tech Rat, that's his fatal flaw besides the fuse box. I mean, it's just so I had to put it in my misfit moments. I know it's kind of silly, but I was just really? Why would you pair these two together?
Why is it that I'm flashing to Transformers Animated? Bumblebee, Prime. Transformers Prime. Bumblebee, we needed that.
Yeah.
I needed that. Oh.
Tech Rat is the 80s human version of Transformers
Ratchet.
Prime Ratchet.
Yeah. I needed that. It would have been even more awesome if they had the Coombs playing it, right?
Oh, well, Charlie Adler does a good job as Tech Rat, though. So,
yes, absolutely. Let's see, what else do I have? When in doubt, Shayna will abandon ship to save people, but not sure if that's a good thing. Oh goodness. And Eric again didn't see through that disguise. Two girls trying to sound like dudes. Yeah, those are mine.
What about you, Nicole?
I had that too. Eric, really? Come on. And the other thing is, the Misfits overreacted a little bit at the beginning with the whole with the jazz player being on the TV show. What is this crap? I'm just like, that was a little much even for the Misfits, I think.
Well, they had to be able to put Jack Take a Hike in there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
Jack, take a hike. Take a hike, Jack. Hit the road.
Oh, Lord.
It's good stuff, man.
Thankfully, I am immune to getting Misfit songs stuck in my head.
We'll fix that.
With Misfits in Hawaii.
Oh, no, that was you guys. You kept singing it, and it got stuck in your own heads.
No, you said it got stuck in your head, too.
Anyway.
We're Misfits in Hawaii.
Oh, God.
This is the show that's taking over our brains. I wake up in the morning having just random songs running through my head, and it happens to be on this show. Where's my head at?
It's between your neck and your shoulders, or it's on top of your neck and between your shoulders. I don't know.
If we're gonna have to hear it in our brains because we're doing this, we're reviewing this show with you, then you're gonna have to put up with us hijacking the show every once in a while.
I mean, I've put up with it the last 12 episodes.
Yeah, I
so
know.
it's not-
I just want to
Last
see you completely
2 months of our lives.
That's my goal in life. Is just completely break you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Right.
Hmm.
That's not gonna happen. It just isn't.
Really? Really?
No, I don't think so.
Mm.
I mean, if that picture last year of a certain KKK's butt didn't break my brain, then nothing will.
Oh, trust me, I could think of something.
I think
All
that's
right.
a challenge, Nicole.
All right. Okay, misfit moments. Are we done with this, or do we have?
Yep, we're done.
Other... Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That's
put
how
a
I
fork
feel.
in it.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
That's the lady of the house right there. We're gonna move on to the last episode of the day after this.
I like living life that's free and easy. Free and easy as ABC. Hard work ain't my speed. The only thing I need is a life that's free and easy. Free and easy. Nothing bothers me. I'm free and easy. Free and easy as 1, 2, 3. I think it's a blast to play it loose and fast. Taking each day free and easy. Free and easy. No sweat, no strain, no ache, no pain, no rules to obey. No sir, no way. Free and easy. Free and easy. Free and easy. Easy.
All right, finally up today, it's Danse Time. It aired October 19th, 1987. The Holograms want to submit a video with the theme of friendship for a competition. But in
Xantho is back.
Yep. In the process, Dance is injured. Will she heal in time for them to make a perfect video? Featured songs are Free and Easy by the Misfits. They've turned themselves into hookers.
I
Yeah.
know. Like,
Cheap hookers.
this is the second time they've come up with something.
A little
Coming
questionable.
up from behind was pretty bad. This is
Yeah.
up there.
Takes Work, Gem and the Holograms, and a reuse of People Who Care by Gem and the Holograms. Again, like, the last episode where we got, like, little mini stories or little mini adventures with all the hologram girls, we get a completely, not necessarily side story, but a complete kind of background and kind of adventure with Dance herself. I mean, I don't even remember the last time we saw her.
We saw her. Oh god.
At the beginning of was
no,
it not
Yeah,
the
it was-
beginning
It
of
was
this?
the
No.
it was the Haven House on the
Haven
first
House.
episode when Danny and
Bonnie.
the girls
Yeah.
Yeah.
ran away.
Right, yeah.
Bonnie, Ashley, and the other girl.
Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Yeah, Chrissy. They ran away.
But
It
yeah,
was a
no.
two-parter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she wore a cape. What the hell?
Capes are cool, just like, bow ties and fezzes.
No capes!
Wow.
Didn't you watch it?
Oh, that's right.
No capes.
Okay.
Out of the words of the awesome Edna.
Edna
capes.
Moles. Yeah, no capes.
Okay.
All right. I like this one. I think it's really cool that it, for the most part, 90% of the episode focuses on Dance, which is cool. It's good. It's interesting. It's not, hey, what man whore is Kimber going after this week?
Except the only flaw in the whole thing is the fact that Dance seems to give up on her dancing too easy. And after a couple of hours of therapy, she gets better.
Well, I'd like to think that it is at least 3 or 4 days because they do
3
say...
or 4 days. She was like, I'm
They-
never going to dance again.
Right,
It's
but
just
what I'm saying is, like, the timeline of the episode,
is weird.
I would like to... Thank you. I'd like to think it takes them at least a week because they say that, hey, this is the deadline if she's not ready by now, and they say something about, oh, well, we've got 2 or 3 days to do this, and yeah, sure, you're not...
That's the thing, is that it keeps
Yeah.
changing. I'm not exactly sure how long the contest was for to begin with. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they have a week. Then they have a couple days. Then they have, we've got, it just that part was so unclear that it made it a little
That
it
was
was
one
it
of
was
my
frustrating. Yeah.
That was one of my Take it from someone who's been going to physical therapy.
Yeah.
This this was months that she was in physical therapy.
Yeah. It should have been months. It could
The
have.
contest wasn't going to last that long.
No. And that yeah, when I was watching this I was thinking about you, Nicole, and how you've been in physical therapy for your issues for a
Yep.
long time. If you're into physical therapy and you're in a wheelchair, that means that you're going to be in that wheelchair for a very long time.
Yeah, you're gonna be, because I was wheelchair bound for about 3 months.
Yeah. At
And-
least.
Yeah, and you're gonna.
And then the fact that the guy was like, "Oh, we can't promise that she'll be dancing again," is like, yeah, well, if you're off your feet for 3 months, you're still going to need to practice to get back to where you were.
Okay.
To do those pirouettes and to do those kind of kicks and to not, because she's not exercising while she's doing that. She's just trying to learn how to walk again. So there were a few things that just did not work for me in this episode.
Well, that's I had a problem with this episode just because I've been where she's at.
Yeah.
Wheelchair. If she's wheelchair bound, she's going to lose a lot of muscle and strength in her leg.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, it's been 17 months, and I'm still walking with assistance because my leg is so weak. She's not going to be dancing anytime soon.
No, absolutely. They would have had to have gotten somebody else.
Yeah.
There's no ands, if, or buts about it. They would have just had to get somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on the overall plot, ladies?
No, not really.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the hologram moments.
Takes work to move a mountain, takes work to cross a stream. But when you're aiming at high stakes, it's worth the work it takes to build a dream. Takes work to go the distance, takes work to see it through. So when you feel you're on the spot, give it all you've got to make your dreams come true. Good things don't come easy, knocking at your door. But if it's worth the having, it's worth the working for. Takes work to find the rainbow, takes work to travel far. But though your dreams seem far away, they'll come true someday. You'll reach that shining star. You'll reach that shining star.
It is time for the hologram moments. The only good thing about Free and Easy is that Jetta's saxophone playing is awesome in that song. The rest of it,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Their moves were kind of interesting too, but yeah.
and Jetta, she adds season 1 with just the 3 of them. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Stormer, but Jetta adds so much more to the band. Like, they actually are turning into, even though I don't particularly care for most of the Misfit songs, because they've added Jetta, it's actually turning into a somewhat decent, marketable band. Because before, with just the 3 of them, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, come on.
It wasn't that bad.
Hey,
Come on,
hey,
man.
hey, you guys have your real bashing. Come on now.
We're misfits in Hawaii. I keep going back to that. I'm sorry. It was just really catchy.
I do like the episode a lot, not just because it focuses on dance and what she goes through, but it also focuses on what disabled people have to go through because, what was his name? God. Cisco, thank you.
You're not gonna fit I'm not gonna forget that name because Deep Space Nine reference.
Oh yeah. Speaking from experience, born with a mild case of cerebral palsy, and I'm technically listed as legally blind because I have 2200 vision without correction. For me, and I've said this in other podcasts, like I could sit here at my desk looking out my living room window in the middle of the day, and I could look down the street, and I can see the stop sign. I know it's a stop sign. I can see the color red, but I can't actually read STOP on the sign. You know what I mean? So, and the whole thing with, assuming that disabled people are just completely helpless, I like that they kind of brought that up and kind of said, hey, no, that's not the case at all.
That was really good about that. I did like that about this episode, yeah.
Yeah. Danse and Cisco, they kind of work as a team / couple / whatever. It's a really interesting thing. I hope to see the two of them more. I don't think we will, but
yeah,
we can hope. What do you got, Nicole?
For my my
hologram moments.
My gosh, I swear.
Freck or frack.
Yeah. I just like how Eric was the one that pulled the pizzazz. It wasn't pizzazz that ruined everything. It was Eric. He pulled the pizzazz. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that they did show how recovery works, and that, even if someone's disabled, they might have a second chance. And they even talked about maybe, how it might not work, his surgery. I kind of enjoyed that. Yeah, this, like I said, this episode kind of hit home really. So, I just wish that, the timing was a little bit better on it. But...
Yeah, the timing is what kind of broke it.
Yeah.
Because it just was completely unrealistic timing.
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever build up to the operation that Cisco has?
Not really.
It just kind of threw it in there at the last minute. It was like, oh, now he's having an operation?
Well, no, they say that there's one scene where they're talking about him, that he's worried about having the operation, and then we cut to the next day or whatever where he's had, between, because there was a whole montage of, they used Takes Work. When that song was going on, that's when they showed him going under the knife and dance, because at first they showed...
because everything was focused on Danse and her trying to learn how to, do therapy and to, get up off her feet and, keep trying and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, oh, he's having an operation while she's working really hard. And I thought, wow, they just didn't build that up very well. He didn't ever talk about, hey, I might have my eyes back. I might get an operation someday or soon or sometime this week. And
they did say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that for some reason because I was like, it just felt like they had just dropped his operation into the show.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
He did say that. All right. What about you, Amy? What do you got?
I like the fact that Stormer finds them doing a music video shoot. That's not work to her. But the others are like, no, this is so work. We want to get finished so we can go play. And I'm like, you know what? Stormer's right in her element. She wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then her reaction to friendship and goodwill. And everybody's like, so I'm like, yeah.
Goodwill.
She's always going to be different from the rest of them,
Mm-hmm.
I think. I think this absolutely showed that work for them is not work for Stormer. She actually enjoys being there. Yeah. I'm convinced that after the Music is Magic episode, that having pink hair, apart from Jem, is kind of bad luck. Because Danse gets hurt, and she just has a pink stripe in her hair. So, yeah. And I thought it was hilarious that Eric, of course, blames Red for the whole pizzazz moment that he has.
I know.
And then, of course, Red's like, I did not. It was him.
I'll get to that. God.
And that's pretty much my hologram moments.
Anything else, Nicole?
Nope. It's good for me.
All right, we're gonna get to the misfit moments after this.
People who care are people who share, people who give, so other people can live. Caring people are people who try, who wait for the sky and never say die. Very rare, it's true. just like you. Whoa, people who care, all can help make a change. Set people free by helping people to see. Caring people are people with dreams who go to extremes to fight for those dreams. Whoa, yeah, very rare, it's true. But I know one or two, they're people just like you. People who care, they're just like you.
Alright, it is time for the Misfit Moments for Dance Time. Okay, so there's a scene where Cisco starts playing, and the sound from the Takes Work song, they don't match. Like, his playing and the actual music. Some scenes when a guy, or whomever, doesn't necessarily have to be a guy, but when someone is playing the guitar, it is at least the opening verse or the opening, notes to whatever song is going to play. And it's like they put him on mute and just, hit play a few years, again, before Milli Vanilli, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't match up. That's a nitpick for me. The one thing that really pisses me off about this episode is how the hell are they all standing on the friggin' ice? We see, I'll screen cap it and put it in the post. At least Rio, Jem, Aja, Shayna, and Kimber and Rhea are all standing on the ice when they're talking about doing. I don't care if they have ice skates on or not. You're not supposed to stand on ice that long.
But isn't it just a set?
No, there are set decorations around it, but I assume that's an actual pond because the snow looks real.
Yeah.
So,
and the tree that falls on Dance,
That's
that was
that's
a fake tree.
That was a fake tree. That was part of the set.
That was just
but
sad.
I didn't know that if you stand on ice, what will it do?
Well, if too many people are on the ice at one time, it can, especially if it's thin ice, it can crack.
Well, I'm
and
guessing
you can fall in.
that because it's on a set that they might be a rink,
Maybe.
If it's on
I'm
guessing that it was on a set, some sort of set, because you see in one area, I think there's like lights and stuff in the background and stuff.
And it still looked weird to me.
But why would they be putting them on a pond if it was not safe? Because they use the whole thing. I mean, there's one part where they kind of zoom out and they actually show where they're at when she's doing the beginning, and it's not that big. It's just big enough for her to have like a basically sort of a stage kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was like, oh, it's not a real pond. Because if it was a real pond...
I just took it as a set.
Especially when the fake tree, Oh, and the fact that they had the machine going and, that... Yeah. I like the fact that they kind of says, oh, it's a good thing that it wasn't on high. Then we see what happens when it's on high and somebody gets hurt. Darn it, Red.
Oh, God, Red. Red is like an early version cousin. This happened in 87. That didn't start till 89. Red is like an early version cousin to Willie from The Simpsons.
I knew you were going to do that.
Oh, my God, that guy. Just like, it's groundskeeper Willie.
He's even got the red hair and the beard and everything.
Yeah.
It's like they pulled it out of Gem and the Holograms and made him perfectly for Simpsons. It's awesome.
The last thing I have for my Misfit moments is I was really hoping they would come up with a new song. Don't get me wrong. I like People Who Care, but that's the third time they've used it in the series.
I agree.
It's a little too much.
You think that Xanthos would count that as a bad thing?
Yeah. What about you, Amy? What do you got?
I think it's odd. Or wait. We've already brought this up that Dance gives up so easily on the walking thing, and she's like, "I can't. I'm never going to be able to dance again." I'm like, "Really, drama queen?" And then of course we've already talked about the fact that they wait for her to get better, and we didn't think that would be very realistic. So, let's see here. Okay, I'm looking at my notes. Sorry, I said a lot
You can't
about
read
that.
yours now, huh?
No, I can read them. I had a lot to say about the whole time thing. We already mentioned it, so I don't have to explain that again. So, the time thing just really breaks it for me. The Misfits, they hire all the crew from Gem and the Holograms because that worked so well the last time they did that.
Yeah, that was.
If it's the same crew, okay, but if it isn't, then it'd be like, okay, well, even if in the same crew, come on, you know that the Misfits are not gonna. If you hear Gem and the Holograms talking about the Misfits, why would you ever go to work for them? Because you didn't believe them when they said that they cause problems. Or you'd think that, like, Starlight Music would have some sort of clause in their hirees or their employee clause. You're not allowed to go work for Misfit Music or Eric Raymond or any of the Misfits. Just because.
It should just be common sense.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they don't treat their people well anyway. Let's look at Eric and the Misfits seriously, because half the time it's people that, people like Tech Rat or people like Zipper or, whatever, that Eric has been using for years and years and years, and he pays very well to get them to do stuff. And then the rest of the time, it's the rest of the Misfits or Eric doing promotion or whatever. It's like, because they can't keep workers, because they treat them so horribly.
I think that they'd be blacklisted already, Any employment agencies would be like, no, we're not going to work with these people because they never treat our employees right, or we've had lawsuits or whatever because of them. Yeah, you'd think that it would just be really hard to get work, and Eric would be begging them, please treat the work really well this time, please, please, please.
But he can't ask them that because he doesn't do it himself.
I know.
He treats them like shit too.
I know.
It's
This is why work is so hard to come by for them. They always have to nix somebody else's crew.
Absolutely.
The gumball idea from the Misfits was really strange because it's supposed to be friendship and goodwill. So we're gonna put the Misfits in gumballs. It was so wonky. I don't know how that conveys goodwill and friendship, but it was weird.
I honestly think they only did it so they could have the gag where they fell out of the machine when Eric moved the wrong. That's the only reason why I think it's even there. Because I'm sorry, me and my friends never sat around hanging out chewing gumballs. Never. It's
not something that just promotes friendship and goodwill. I mean, yeah, everybody likes gum.
If you want to tell me ice cream or pizza or burgers and fries or hot dogs or any other food other than friggin' gumballs, come on, seriously?
I got some right now. You want some of mine?
Okay.
I'll give you some.
Because ABC gum is like the best kind because it's going from one mouth to the next.
I'm pretty sure Baz will share it.
Yeah, that's friendship and goodwill. We'll share germs. Yay! Oh, jeez. Oh, good times.
Good times.
Yeah. I think our audience needs to start betting on who's going to derail the show the most each episode.
Lip herpes. You can pass lip herpes.
I'm pretty calm right now. I just did an 8-hour shift. So.
This is going to be the strangest episode, I think, just because it seems like we're a little off tonight. I don't know.
Apparently, you don't remember the last one.
I don't. I've slept since then.
Oh, God, Amy has turned into Drew Barrymore from 51st Dates. She doesn't remember the previous day. Holy crap. Oh, God. That must really suck for your two children and the third one on the way.
Yeah, because they're like, Mom, it's like, I'm not in trouble again. Yes, you are. It's like, no, that was what I did yesterday. I don't remember yesterday, so we'll do it today.
Oh, God.
You broke my...
All right.
Mr. Moments, go.
Yeah. Whose turn is it?
Probably
Nicole?
mine since Amy went.
No, I already went.
Okay, I'll go. I think I'm the one that's left, right? Right?
Yep.
Okay. I think Dance changed nationalities like multiple times during this. She was either Latino or very, very white. I'm talking like me white, like clear white, where you could see your veins
Utah
white.
white.
Yeah.
No. Seamus White.
Seamus White. No. UK white, because they know how to
Yeah.
do it right.
Yeah, there you go.
When Andy came over, oh my gosh.
Yeah. He's pretty white. He's a white boy. Yeah. So we talked about the timing. The timing was off in this. I don't know if they gave 3 months for a video to be done, which I doubt, or Dance is really good with her physical therapy. So, and I have here, why not hire someone new? And they're like, we can't do it without her. I know several great dancers, and I'm pretty sure you being one of the top, bands in the world, you probably can too.
There would be dancers lining up to work with them.
Yeah. I know she's your friend and all, but
yeah, and she works for Haven House, which is what you're working for, but still, you can't pick out friendship and goodwill. I mean, you can't say that none of the girls that are there at the Haven House have followed in Dance's footsteps.
Exactly.
She hasn't got any apprentices or something, and have them do something where they have other kids doing that. That would be cool. Hey, flash dance. The not flash dance, the group dances. Like nowadays, of course, that's
flash mob.
Flash mob. That's what I was trying to say.
Thank you.
See, my bad.
Yeah, let's just teach all the kids
you're
how
here
to
to
be a
help.
pole dancer.
Oh God.
Hey, it's the Haven House. Woo!
The one.
They could get lessons from Rio.
We're gonna go to a quick break. We're gonna come back with final thoughts and ratings after this.
You were gonna say something there.
Gem will be right back after these messages.
Hey, this is Samantha Newark, and you're listening to the truly outrageous podcasters of the Geekcast Radio Network.
Kid? Yes. Shut up.
Beyond the Night is the GCRN's latest review podcast. We are covering everything in the Knight Rider television universe, from the classic 80s TV series to the 1991 reunion film, Team Knight Rider, and the 2008 relaunch series as well. So join TFG and Mike and Dion the Music Man as they go in depth and Beyond the Night only on Geekcast Radio Network. You can find Beyond the Night in iTunes and on www.geekcastradio.com.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
The evolution
Is here.
This is the new.
The new.
The all-new.
New and improved.
This is the new Mark Who 42.
You have reached your destination.
With new reviews.
New up-to-the-minute news.
All new interviews.
And don't forget new co-host.
Bringing you the latest through the Hooniverse.
And beyond.
Join us at the new Mark Who 42 on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Mark Who 42. The meaning of life.
Hey, I'm Gary.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Justin. Join the four of us every week on the internet's #1 and longest-running G.I. Joe podcast, What's on Joe Mind?
It's Joe news, reviews, and interviews like you've never heard them before, delivered right to your MP3 player.
Our guests include Jason Marsden, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Matt Yang King from G.I. Joe Renegades, Larry Hama, Robert Atkins, and John Barber from IDW Publishing, and many more from around the online Joe community.
Yeah, it's guys talking about Joe. Think of it as Joe Talk meets sports talk. And we make fun of Chuck.
Right, and we... Hey, again?
Come on, Chuck. We're just kidding, kinda.
Sometimes Chuck makes fun of himself.
Right, and we... Okay, seriously, this is just getting ridiculous now.
It's What's on Joe Mind every week on the Geekcast Radio Network, InsidePulse.com, Stitcher Smart Radio, and iTunes. Download and listen today.
I suppose I still can't say something about Transformers, can I?
Good.
No.
What about sports?
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's all right.
And now, back to Gem.
We are back here on Showtime Synergy, and it is time for our final thoughts and to rate the episodes for Music is Magic. Yes,
Yep.
Thank you. Music is Magic. I am going to give it a straight 5. I do have a few nitpicks with it, but I mean, overall, it was a damn good episode. What about you, Amy?
I'm rating this one a 4. It was really solid. Excuse me, sorry. It was really solid, but I'm kind of holding it up against, the Father's Day one, which I thought was like really, really good. And I'm like, it was good. It was absolutely good. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I just want, more of my frack back.
New Insecticon, frack back.
Frack back. There you go. Woohoo! There you go.
I could see him being a driller because then all the environmentalists could go after him.
Yeah.
For fracking. Yeah, there you go.
Nicole, what about you Music is Magic?
I'm going to give it a 4.5. I really enjoyed this episode, except for that whole thing with the lady magician, and I don't get that, the whole love thing. It shouldn't have been there. It drove me nuts. Besides that, it was a good episode.
All right, the jazz player. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it so much that I didn't even have any misfit moments, so it gets a straight 5 for me. What about you, Amy?
I'm also giving this one a 4. It was very solid, and again, no Rio. Yay! Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's funny because these 2 episodes were just really solid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think usually we've gotten a couple string of where we get the themed shows and we get they're like, oh, they were average, it was all right, we have lots of fun talking about them, but these 2 episodes were just really solid, so I give it a 4.
What about you, Nicole?
I would give it a 4 as well. I really enjoyed it. If not just for the exterminator outfits. And I really like Trapped. I really like that song. Unlike Mike, who has no taste in music.
No, wait a second here. I said I liked it. I liked the song with the saxophone in the final episode a little bit better. And the final episode is Danse Time. I'm going to give it a 4. There are just a few things in here that just... I understand it was a set, but it just looks wrong to me to have like 7 people or 6 people standing on ice. It just, no. What about you, Amy?
I'm giving this one a 3. The time dilation issues just didn't work for me. I like the idea. I like how they did things. I like how, they focused on, the people that have handicaps and some of the things that they might go through, and even, those that have therapy, but it takes a whole lot longer than that to get therapy. So, yeah, I'm going to rate it a 3.
And the last one, the lady who's still in therapy.
Yeah, I agree with Amy. It's a 3. There were some really good moments, but first of all, how much damage did that prop do to her? And then the whole, like I said, the whole timing. She was either in therapy really long or really quick. The contest was.
And you think that the doctors would have been like really, really good about like saying, well, you're going to be in therapy for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have just jerked her around like that. They would be like, okay, you have this many. So, because that would also play a role into how mentally and emotionally she's going to take her injuries. The fact that she's like, I don't even know if I'll be able to dance again. If he said 2 weeks, then I would have been like, I'd be a little bit more optimistic. I'd be like, okay, well, that's your opinion that I won't be able to dance after 2 weeks. It's like, no, come on, man. After 2 weeks of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like 6 months, then I'd be like, oh, I'd be like concerned about, my being able to, the strength.
It'd been totally different if she wasn't in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But she must have been pretty bad off if she was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then they were showing her having to learn how to walk again. Trust me, that takes some time.
Yeah.
And then, Mm-hmm.
There's it broke it for me. So that's,
Yep. On the same wavelength.
So, what'd you rate it?
3. Just
3.
like you.
All right, cool. There you go, Mike.
All right.
Done and dusted, man.
Thank you for joining us here on Showtime Synergy. There's several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can find this and comment on it and all of our other episode posts. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. The network Twitter is at geekcastradio. Mine is TF1 Mike. Amy, what is your Twitter?
LadyWreck.
And Nicole?
That's BeatlesDiva. Beatles like the band, not the bug.
Follow us, become a fan of us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line, tell us to show you leave a message for, and your name, 502-526-5821. You'll only be able to do that for this show by the time we get to episode 25, so that's kind of useless at this point. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Showtime Synergy, and wish you'll join us next time. We'll be reviewing the next 3 episodes from Gem and the Holograms Season 2, those being Roxy Rumbles, Alone Again, and K-Gem. For now, I am M with...
I want Frack back.
And...
the third of the Flim Flam brothers.
Tune in next time and help us get truly outrageous with Showtime Synergy.
Just in case you were just getting over your alcohol buzz, take another big one.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Show's over, Synergy.